If you could only eat one last meal before you died, what would it be? Death row inmate Stephen Albert McCoy chose a cheeseburger, french fries, and a strawberry milkshake. This is Death Row Diner. We're going to be starting with the french fries, and once again we're going to be using a recipe from Ethan Schlabowski, aka Serious Eats, aka Heston Blumenthal, which is going to have us start by bringing a pot of water to a boil. Now you may be thinking this is way too many potatoes for one man, and I would hope you're right. But we're going to prep a whole bunch of extra fries today and get them to a certain point in the process where we can then freeze them and save them for later, which will make having fries at a later date much easier and simpler. So start by peeling the potatoes and cutting them into french fry shapes, or any shape really. No one's stopping you from making a little flower-shaped french fry. Go nuts. And once your water's boiling, add in a bit of salt and a big splash of vinegar. Oh, it stopped boiling. That's weird. I wonder why I did that. I don't know. Anyway, after that, add in your potatoes, appropriate size batches at a time. We're going to boil them in the vinegar water for about 10 minutes, then take them out and put them down onto a paper towel-lined baking sheet. And after that, you'll see that they hold their shape really well. Unlike a typical mashed potato boiled in water, the vinegar helps them retain their pectin, which keeps them flexible and helps them keep their shape. Then fill up Old Blue with a frying oil of your choice and put it on high. We're going to let the potatoes rest for half an hour or so before we throw them in for the first fry. In the meantime, we're going to start our strawberries for the milkshake. While adding fresh strawberries to a strawberry milkshake isn't totally necessary if you want to be a basic Betty, as the kids say, this is going to make it a lot more gourmet. So we're going to slice the strawberries, cover them in a few TBSPs of sugar, and a splash of vanilla, and let them macerate for 20 minutes to an hour. To macerate something, it's just a fancy word that means, I don't know, absorb sugar and get tastier. Once the oil's at 420, whoa, 420, get it? Yes, we get it. Slowly drop in your fries, once again in manageable batches, and we'll cook them for precisely 1 minute. Then remove them and put them back on a paper towel-lined baking sheet. We're going to let them rest for another half hour or so before the final fry. Then we're going to take some freezer bags and put all the extra ones we made in them. Don't fill them too full, make sure there's enough room in there for them to lay relatively flat across the size of the whole freezer bag. If you squish them together into a big clump, you might be setting yourself up for a world of trouble later. So with our fries resting and the extras in the freezer, time to start our burger. We're going to try one from the Bob's Burgers Burger Book, because why not? It just specified cheeseburger, so we're just going to pick one that's got lots of cheese on it. Don't you for cheddar bout me burger. Sounds pretty good to me. It's basically just a bacon cheeseburger with 4 types of cheddar. Obviously we're going to be omitting the onions. I guess the one thing that separates this burger apart is that it's got a couple cheeses stuffed into the patty itself and then a couple on top. So we've got mild cheddar, medium cheddar, sharp cheddar, and Gouda. I couldn't find 4 types of cheddar. I mean, what store has 4 types of cheddar? So we've got about a quarter pound of ground beef here, so we're going to separate it into 2 evenly sized balls and then smush them down into super thin patties. You're going to want your patties to be wider than your bun because as they cook, they're going to shrink up. And there's nothing worse than having just a tight little meatball in a big wad of bread. I mean, I guess there's a lot of things worse than that, but when you want a burger, it's not really what you're looking for. Then we're going to tear up a couple slices of our cheeses and stick them on one side of the patty here. Then we're going to put the other one on top and smush them together around the edges. In a cast iron pan, we're going to cook up the bacon. So put the bacon down into the cold pan and then turn the heat on low to medium. Give them a couple flips as they cook until they're nice and crispy. Bring your oil back up to 375, 400 or so, and drop your fries in for the final fry. They should cook for about 3 to 5 minutes until they're super crispy. With the bacon done, we're going to toast up our buns in the leftover bacon grease. Then add your burgers. I'm making 2 here, even though you only asked for 1, because I live with someone who's also going to eat one. Give them a pinch of salt, always a pinch of salt, and just a pinch this time. The other side's going to be covered in cheese, so you don't need much more than that. And a little pepper if you like. After a couple minutes on relatively high heat, we're going to give them a flip. Ooh, nice browning. And not so nice browning on that one. We'll just adjust the heat over here a little bit. Now we're going to add our other 2 slices of cheese. It's going to melt a little bit, but since it's 2 pretty thick slices of cheese here, it might need a little help. We're going to cover it with a lid. Okay, this pan doesn't have a lid that fits it, so we're just going to improvise here. After another minute or so, the burgers are looking done. Fries are looking done too, so we're going to scoop them out and put them in a bowl lined with a paper towel and toss them with a bunch of salt. After we plate up our burgers with our toppings of choice, we're going to finish off our milkshake. Add your macerated strawberries to the blender cup thingy. Most strawberry milkshake recipes call for vanilla ice cream, so we'll add a bit of that. But we can make it even more strawberry-y by adding strawberry ice cream as well. So take your favorite strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla ice cream and scoop all the strawberry out. Top it off with your favorite brand of bagged milk, or cartoned milk if you live in some sort of crazy place that puts milk in cartons. Then blend it up. In hindsight, it's a little thin. I probably should have had a little less milk, maybe a little less strawberries, and a little more ice cream. I mean, it still tastes good, but could be a little better. Now that everything's ready, it's time to plate up. And there we have it. All in all, a pretty good last meal. It's a little simple, but this burger is pretty tasty. Does the cheeseburger taste better with the cheese inside the patty instead of just on top of it? No, but it seems fancier that way. The milkshake, while a little thin, is super delicious, super fresh tasting from all those strawberries, and I think the strawberry ice cream added a little as well. And of course, can't forget these fries, some of the crispiest, most delicious fries you'll ever make at home. So, while simple, still undeniably delicious. Gonna have to give it a 6.5 out of 10.